Okay, here's why everyone looks bad in this whole Kavanaugh shit show. Kavanaugh should only ever have been attacked based on his track record as a judge. And there's a lot to go after there. But frankly, I didn't really hear much about his track record as a judge in the past 10 days. And in his track record as a judge, in 17 cases where it was someone versus a corporation, he found for the corporation. And in one of those cases, it was where Shamu had killed someone at SeaWorld. And he found in favor of SeaWorld. Because he said that the park worker had some reasonable expectation to danger, something like that. And so, like he says, if you wanted to judge him based on the same way you would judge his father, you would only judge him based on his track record as a judge. And you would say to him, so in Martha's Vineyard versus Shark, you found for fucking Jaws? And he'd have to sit there and go like, well, they didn't close the beaches, whatever. And he just goes back to being a judge. Like his family's not getting death threats. He's not up there in front of Congress sobbing for 2 hours about the denigration of his name. And it's all professional. It's all adults being professional. And he still wouldn't have gotten on the Supreme Court, probably, because of his track record. And he would just have to shake his head and go, well, I didn't make it. Goes back to being a judge. But now, him and his family, his son, they're getting death threats because the media called him straight up evil for 10 days. That's a very specific word. And that evokes a lot of anger. And you're calling him evil based on allegations from 36 years ago, whether they were true or not. And I'm not even going to guess whether they're true or not. I believe him. I believe him based on just the sheer emotion in his testimony. The sheer raw, like, what the hell is happening emotion coming out of him. And I think that, it's a shame. It's a shame for everyone involved. Everyone looks bad because it's like, Kavanaugh, to me anyway, and to people like Bernie, his track record is not great as a judge. But that's all someone like Bernie would have attacked him on. And he wouldn't have to be dragged through the mud, getting death threats and ruining his career, ruining his life. He's got to go into witness protection. And that's a shame. This whole thing is a clusterfuck and a shame. And it should never, ever, ever have been like this. And I believe him when he says that he asked for an investigation on day one, but there was clearly an agenda to drag him through the mud in the media for 10 days. Because that's how certain people handle things. And I just need to say that literally everyone hates those people. And they are shameless. They would have no problem with Kavanaugh's family receiving death threats because they called him evil in the news, when it never should have gotten to such an unprofessional level. That is totally unprofessional. That's a smear, no matter what happened. Especially when they remain allegations. And you're calling him evil, and you're calling all of his defenders evil. I don't really have anything else to say. I was even hoping that would make Kavanaugh laugh if he ever saw this. Like, Martha's Vineyard versus Shark, and you found for fucking Jaws?